Hello, I am the Obscure Jackal, and welcome back to Winds of Change. Last time, we got to hang out in the Mazeo Tavern, and then headed on over to the mayor's house. So not a whole lot got done, but we did get to learn some more about some of our compatriots. But for now, let's get into the mayor's house and get on with this meeting with the pirates. Okay, so as you can see, we've already done everything in this room, so let's just go ahead and move on up. We all enter the office in sync, and everyone inside stares at us. It's odd, but at first glance I can tell exactly who everybody is. Nada takes a few steps forward, a sly smirk on her face.
Late, are you? Good to know your word is trustworthy. It's not like this is important or anything like that.
It's clear bait, and Dominic doesn't take it at all. Instead, he smirks back and approaches Grizz and the pirates.
Actually, this meeting doesn't start until I arrive. So, Nada, you're actually early. Very obedient of you. A bit softer than your reputation cites, but I'll let it slide.
She struggles to conjure up a comeback and simply shrugs. Dominic approaches Grizz's desk and waves us all over. It isn't much longer until we're all cramped together.
Grizz, I'd like to introduce you to the CRS.
I take a step forward and offer a hand to Grizz. He rises from his chair and gives my hand a firm shake.
It's an honor to meet you, Cirrus. And those two must be your friends.
I nod as he looks at Valessa and Fortum.
Say, have you three been to Mazeo before? I can't put my finger on it, but you look familiar.
Interesting. I shake my head and he promptly returns to his chair. He looks at all of us one by one and lets out a loud sigh. I will say, it does say earlier in the game that our parents did come to Mazeo, so it's quite possible of just parental resemblance. There you are.
Oh well, not that it matters anyway. I'd like to thank you all for coming to my office. Today we discuss the matter of Dominic and the pirates.
What have you got for me, Grizz? Surely you have their demands laid out on the table.
Yes, of course. I made them write up their demands in private. I didn't want them influencing each other in any certain direction.
He points to two pieces of paper resting on his table. They're turned upside down so nobody could read them.
Here's how this is going to work. Neither pirate knows which paper is theirs. Dominic, you and your allies are to read each one. Afterwards, each pirate is to explain their demands out loud. This is to make sure they haven't gotten greedy or changed their mind. We also need some witnesses, which is why I had you bring some friends.
Sounds reasonable.
At that point, Dominic may converse with his allies. When a decision is made, we will both sign the chosen demands. To avoid any conflict, neither pirate will learn if they were chosen. When everybody leaves, the demands will be mailed back. The pirate that receives a signed paper today will know they were chosen. There is no time for drama or infighting on my property. Understand?
Reasonable.
I understand.
Dominic looks over to Nada and Alex, awaiting their approval.
Yeah, I understand.
Me too.
Dominic places his hand on the desk, looking over the papers. But before taking any actions, he turns his head toward me.
CRS, I'd like your input on this. You're no stranger to tough decisions, right?
I mean, not in the last couple of days.
And from what I've heard, we share some common views. It couldn't hurt to get a second opinion from someone like you.
I nod and walk up to the desk, standing beside him. We stare down at the two papers, hesitant.
You may begin the first phase. Remain silent, but read the papers over.
A few moments later, Dominic grabs one of the papers. He inches closer to me and slowly turns it around. It's Alex's offer. He wants the trade bans to be lifted from Mazeo. If this is done, the pirates must all be offered jobs in the Mazeo shipping company. Piracy will be no more, and Mazeo will turn into a nation of free trade. In exchange, he can offer the ships and crew of those who side with him. This makes up approximately 35% of the total pirates in Mazeo. He cannot guarantee how Nada's followers will react to this change. Dominic places a paper face down and quickly grabs the other one. He shows no expression, wearing the perfect poker face. Turning the paper around, it's time to see the other half. It's Nada's offer. She wants Mazeo to be divided in two. If this is done, all the pirates will move to a new nation out of Mazeo's way. Of course, she must be declared head of this new pirate nation. Furthermore, her demands include more details about the division of Mazeo. It's done so in a fashion that gives both sides equal market and residential space. Mazeo currently owns all of this, so it would negatively affect the nation. In exchange, she can offer approximately 65% of the total pirates in Mazeo. This includes a massive arsenal of ships, making Alex's offer seem inconsequential. Both demands share one thing in common. Pirates' criminal records are to be wiped. Dominic places the second paper face down and shrugs.
Well, I guess that's it then.
Grizz nods.
Indeed. We can move on to Phase 2. Alex and Nada, it's your turn to step forward. Your verbal demands must match the papers.
In response to Grizz's order, they both step forward. The whole thing seemed incredibly well thought out. There was no room for error in any possible way.
My demands are quite simple, actually. All pirates will have their criminal records erased. Furthermore, the trade bans will be lifted from Mazeo. Pirates will be publicly pardoned and no longer ostracized. They will be offered jobs within the Mazeo shipping company. Our clients, our cargo, and our trade routes will all carry over as well. This will reintroduce us to society and legitimize all of our efforts. Mazeo will be free as it once was, and as it always should be. In exchange, I offer 35% of Mazeo's pirates and their ships.
He takes a few steps back, crossing his arms. Nada scoffs before vocalizing her demands.
I can offer the other 65%. I think that puts me a cut above Alex.
This certainly gets a reaction from others in the room. However, we can't get won over by numbers. We were deciding the future of Mazeo.
I also want all criminal records expunged. However, my other demands are a bit more extreme. I want Mazeo divided in half. I want a new nation born. All pirates will be moved to this new nation under my lead. Mazeo will no longer be able to interfere with our work. I will determine where the nation is split in half. I want both residential and commercial land. We will be given everything we need to live happily. That is my demand. A new nation, built for piracy.
She steps back, content with what she said. Grizz turns to face Dominic and myself again.
Does that align with the demands on paper?
That it do.
Yes, I believe it does. What was the next step again?
You may take some time to think. Talk with your allies, and then give me an answer.
Oh, right, sorry. My mind is all over the place. There's no need to think. I already have my answer.
Same.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, of course. This one was simple for me.
For me as well. 'Cause Nada's a bitch.
Well, what about you?
I totally forgot to
Who would
read
you
whatever that
choose?
said, but that's fine. Alex! I point to the paper that contained Alex's demands. Dominic laughs and then gives me a wide smile.
Great minds think alike, I suppose. Good to know we have the same idea. Let's sign this one, Grizz. It's my final choice.
He points to the same paper and Grizz brings out a quill. They waste no time signing it, making it an official decree. After that, Grizz rolls up both papers and seals them with wax.
Nada, Alex, thank you both for your kind offers. I'll have these mailed back to you right away. You'll know within a few hours, I'm sure.
Sounds good to me.
This one's as good as mine.
Ha, so you think. After saying their final words, they both leave. An awkward silence overtakes the room.
You're all free to talk again, you know. We just didn't want Alex and Nada to know Domek's choice.
After hearing that, everybody is at ease. Talking amongst themselves, they theorize who he chose.
Well, Domek?
Who did you choose?
Oh, you'll find out soon enough. Sorry for this little detour, everybody. We can make our way back to HQ now. Though I think we should cut through the docks. It's crowded, but it will make for a nice shortcut. We're already running behind schedule.
That's fair. He sneers at Pro, who quickly backs off. Ulrich takes the message as well and stops asking.
I hope you got what you needed, Domek. Attacking Balteus will be no easy feat.
True.
We'll be more than fine, Grizz. I trust you can handle things from here?
Of course. But there may be some contempt coming. Don't be surprised if Alex or Nada comes fuming to you.
Of course. Thank you so much, Grizz. We couldn't do this without you.
Don't worry about it. Just make sure I don't regret this. Crossing the Triumvirate is a bad idea.
Generally speaking.
You won't, I promise. If you'll excuse us, though, we need to go. I still have to give them the grand tour after all.
Grizz nods, and it seems we're dismissed. I guess our next step was to head to the docks. Domek sure seems excited about this tour.
All right, let's go. I'll make the announcement back at HQ. We have a new ally and a lot more power.
I mean, true enough, I suppose. He holds a closed fist up to his chest, resolute.
We're going to do this. I know it.
And with that, it's time to get things on the move. I'd finally start training and see the Rebellion's new HQ. Alright, we have a conversation.
Hey, Grizz?
Yes?
What's with that sheep around your neck?
Oh, you mean Lassiter?
I guess?
Interesting that you named the sheep that you're wearing around your neck.
When I was younger, I used to be a shepherd. But that didn't last long before I served the Triumvirate. They made me kill all my sheep before they accepted me.
What?
I guess it was to
Well.
prove myself. You know, that I'd leave my old life behind. I did what they said, but I kept a souvenir.
Oh, I see.
It's always important to remember where you came from. Did you bring any souvenirs from Valenorth along with you?
Actually, no. Unless my clothes count.
Depends who you're asking.
But, you know, I'm not actually leaving Valenorth behind. We'll save it, and go back one day. I know it. That's one of our goals during this journey.
True.
I see.
A good outlook, I suppose. But for now, let's head out. Nothing new there. Alright. We are moving forward to the docks. When we arrive at the docks, we finally get an up-close view of everything. It's a massive shipyard, with vessels both arriving and departing. People run in every direction, a mixture of workers and pirates. I suppose they share the same workspace. It's interesting how I can discern a pirate from their clothes and demeanor. After a few steps into the shipyard, we're surrounded by tons of people.
Hey, stick close to me. Wouldn't want to get lost, right?
He inches closer to me and we make our way through the shipyard. It must be their busy hour or something, because we can barely move. People bump into us and apologize before moving on their way.
We're heading to that bridge up there.
He points forward to a bridge in the distance, probably this one. At this rate, it would take hours to get there. Fortune lets out an exasperated sigh.
Seriously? How much longer is this gonna be?
Oh, don't be so dramatic, Fortame. We'll be able to rest before you know it. Enjoy the journey. Mazeo is beautiful.
All right.
Fortum continues walking, defeated. As we inch our way forward, we start to lose hope. However, it isn't long before that hope is kindled again.
Hey, Domek!
Who's this guy? A voice shouts from high up, and we turn to look. There's a man at the top of one of the ships, acting as a lookout. After seeing Domek, he quickly makes his way down to all of us. He slides down the ladder, quickly making his way to the surface. Standing on the edge of the ship, he grips the railing tight.
Where have you been? Feels like I haven't seen you in ages.
He jumps over the edge of the ship, landing on the ground with style. I can tell he's a pirate, and he must be another ally. That was good. In the upcoming battle, we need as many allies as possible.
Grayson, it's so good to see you again. Don't worry, it's nothing personal. I'm just busy. We've been cooking up something really special.
Special, huh? Well, that's all you had to say. You know I've got your back in everything.
Domek steps closer and whispers in Grayson's ear. No doubt he's confiding in Grayson about our recent choice.
Oh, an alliance? Beautiful. We'll be working together more then. And I must say, you made a fine decision, Domek.
He smiles and makes an interesting signal with his arms. A few moments later, a bunch of people in our way quickly move.
Gotta get back to the church, I'm guessing? Sorry about my crew. They're good at getting in the way. In fact, I'm not sure what else they're good for these days.
Between every few words, he glances behind Domek. His eyes shift between Valessa, Fortum, and myself.
Can I help you with something?
Oh, sorry, not at all. He just looks familiar, that's all. Like some pirates Nada used to work with.
Familiar.
Interesting.
Chris said the same thing, actually. Just one of those faces, I guess.
Yeah,
Not
sure.
just any faces, mind you. I was taken aback because you look like legends. A few infamous pirates from back in the day, you know?
That's very interesting.
Pirates? No relation, I assure you.
She laughs and Grayson nods.
Yeah, just a small world.
Seems like he's unsure if that's an insult or not. And for that matter, so does Valessa. Grayson lets it slide. A few moments later, he climbs up a netting on the side of the ship. It isn't much longer until he's back to the top of the mast, looking out. He shouts to his crew, and they move aside, leaving an open trail for us. Were all of these pirates his crew? He must be a man of great influence.
It's always good to have friends in high places.
There's still people wandering the shipyard, but not as many as before. In fact, we'd be able to continue forward without any issue at all.
That was Grayson. We go way back. He's a great ally, and he'll have our back no matter what. I doubt he cares whether we sided with Alex or Nada.
That was good. His crew seemed massive. And the ship as well was in pristine condition.
Well then, on we go?
I mean, that makes sense. You gotta care for where you're living. As he talks, he motions to the bridge once more. And we give each other some space, happy to be moving freely again. I guess we could resume our journey without any struggles. Alright, we've got a parallel chronicle going on, and a little conversation with Valessa.
Hey.
What do you think of Mazeo so far?
It's interesting, to say the least. It's a lot busier than I thought it would be. It makes Valinor look dead by comparison. I'm actually longing for that peace again, though. This place is chaotic. There's so much going on. Hopefully the Rebel HQ will be a bit like home.
I doubt that. What do you think of Domek?
He seems to know what he's doing. I mean, I had some doubts going into this, actually, but he's proven himself to be a capable leader. I like how charismatic he is, you know? It's a lot easier to follow somebody like that. Some people demand respect. He earns it.
Yeah, he's good. What about Pro?
To be honest, I'm actually not sure. He seems nice, but I have my doubts. There's just something about him, you know? It doesn't help that he likes to cheat people. That's probably it. He is on our side, though, so I doubt we have to worry about him cheating us.
We'll see, I guess. Don't know. What do you think about Ulrich?
He's the strongest person I've ever met. I'm sure he'll be protecting us a lot in the future. I don't really have anything bad to say about him. He can be stern, but he has the best intentions. I mean, he has no patience for wasting time. Him and Fortune make an interesting combo.
And are you and Fortune still...
Pretty good, actually.
Okay.
I was worried. You know, about some of the choices you had to make. We've never really let them get between us, though.
That's good.
Unless there's something he's not telling me, but I doubt it. He's always been fully open with me in the past. I wouldn't worry about anything at all, Cirrus.
That's good. Okay, let's go see what Sophie's up to. Wait. It didn't change scenes. Sophie and his crew wandered the crowded docks of Mazeo. They stuck close together to ensure that Shane didn't run away. Close to the rebellion's home, Sophie was sure it crossed his mind.
Well, you sure seem a lot happier. Back on the boat, all you did was mope around.
Sophie scoffed, turning to face his apprentice.
Seasickness, I suppose. As old as I am, I've never really gotten used to it.
You can't be too much older than me.
Right. Sorry.
Besides, I think I know what's going on. You realize something about the Triumvirate.
Yes, I did. I see through the trick now. It was a good idea, I'll give them that.
Trick?
Yes, to put my loyalty to the test. There's no way what they told me was true. They merely want to see if I'll waver.
I see.
That's why they wouldn't tell you either. This was a test, meant only for me.
So, what happens now that you've passed?
I guess I'll find out once we return. I'm just glad that I can focus on the mission now.
Right, I'm glad too, I suppose. On the boat, you were in no condition to perform.
After a few more minutes of walking, Sophie stops in his tracks. Helen and Shane bump into his back, causing him to stumble over.
Master?
Oh, sorry. Just a lot on my mind.
Oh, we're not lost, are we?
Sophie stares at a cloaked figure in the distance. He smirks as he watches them walk through the docks with a group. A large item affixed to their back sways with each of their heavy steps.
No, not at all.
Well, that's not good. And we'll find out where that's leading next time. But for now, this is the Obscure Jackal, signing out. Bye-bye.